Trump's Russia dealings represented an enormous conflict of interest in 2016. Washington: every time Special Counsel Robert Mueller speaks, through his court filings, he packs a punch. The latest example came Thursday, when he revealed that Trump lawyer-slash-fixer Michael Cohen was lying about the president's business ties with Russia, and that Trump and company were seeking business deals with Russia well into June 2016, right before Trump officially became the GOP's presidential nominee. And when you consider what Trump said about Russia during the 2016 campaign, as those business ties represented an enormous conflict of interest, especially since Russia was an adversary. Here was Trump, when MSNBC's Joe Scarborough asked him about Vladimir Putin's killing of journalists. He's running his country. And at least he's a leader, unlike what we have in this country. Here was Trump downplaying Russia's hostilities with Ukraine and now I'm all for Ukraine. I have friends that live in Ukraine, but it didn't seem to me, when the Ukrainian problem arose, not so long ago, and Russia was getting very confrontational, it didn't seem to me like anyone else cared other than us. And we are the least affected by what happens with Ukraine because we're the farthest away. But even their neighbors didn't seem to be talking about it. And, you look at Germany, you look at other countries, and they didn't seem to be very much involved. It was all about us and Russia. And I wondered, why is it that countries that are bordering the Ukraine and near the Ukraine, why is it that they're not more involved? Why is it that they are not more involved? Why is it always the United States that gets right in the middle of things? And here was Trump in and calling for stronger relations with Russia. I believe in easing of tensions, and improved relations with Russia from a position of strength only as possible, absolutely possible. Common sense says this horrible cycle of hostility must end and ideally will end soon. Good for both countries. Some say the Russians won't be reasonable. I intend to find out. If we can't make a deal under my administration, a deal that's great, not good, great, for America, but also good for Russia, then we will quickly walk from the table. It's as simple as that. We're going to find out. As French says, Trump made those comments at the exact time when his team was allegedly trying to secure a business deal that could have netted Trump millions of dollars. This is no small thing. Trump's words mattered. Take away everything else we know about Russian interference in 2016, the email hacks, the WikiLeaks disclosures, the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting. Isn't the news that a presidential candidate's business deals were shaping his views about a geopolitical adversary a humongous scandal by itself? If there wasn't already a special counsel, would yesterday's revelations have launched one? But, of course, yesterday's news is just one part of how Russia and its connection to Trump influenced the 2016 presidential race. Some of the other parts, by the way, don't miss this point from attorney and former federal prosecutor. The third remarkable thing about Cohen's plea was its substance. The President of the United States' personal lawyer admitted to lying to Congress about the president's business activities with a hostile foreign power, in order to support the president's story. In any rational era, that would be earth-shaking. Now it's barely a blip. Over the past 2 years, we've become accustomed to headlines like President's campaign manager convicted of fraud and President's personal lawyer paid for adult actress's silence. We're numb to it all. But these are the sorts of developments that would, under normal circumstances, end a presidency. President Donald Trump landed here Thursday night with Special Counsel Robert Mueller looming over his shoulder back home and President Xi Jinping of China on his horizon. The trick for him, as he celebrates the signing of a new trade agreement with Mexico and Canada Friday and negotiates over his trade war with China Saturday, is to prevent his domestic troubles from damaging American foreign policy interests as the G20 meets here. More from Allen. Shortly after he found out Wednesday morning that former ally Michael Cohen had pleaded guilty to lying to Congress to obscure his efforts to build a Trump Tower in Moscow during the 2016 presidential campaign, Trump abruptly canceled a planned meeting here with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The president's reception in Buenos Aires seemed to hint at a diminished status. When Xi arrived earlier in the day, he was greeted with a red carpet and a military band. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had been given the red carpet but no band. Yet, as Trump was met by a small delegation of dignitaries, for whatever reason, he was afforded neither honor. NBC retracted its call of GOPer David Valadao as the winner. Democrats are currently at +39 under NBC's count, and they'd be at +40 if they end up winning CA21. Chuck Todd is moderator of an NBC News political director. Mark Murray is a senior political editor at NBC News. Carrie Dan is a political editor for NBC News.